With the wooden box refreshed, I can finally bring this project home. Starting off with putting the speaker's board in place and fixing it with a set of 4 screws. Next, the aluminum frame for the Pi and the little HiFiBerry amp. I mark an optimal placement so the network cable connector won't get in the way of the back cover, while at the same time there is enough space to reach the microSD card slot to get the memory card in and out if need be. And in came the frame, held in place by 2 screws. Next, I attached the feet using strong glue and proceeded with gluing in the glass with the same adhesive, which is elastic and should prevent any rattling caused by vibrations generated by speakers. After that, I drilled 4 pilot holes for the subwoofer mounts and moved on to sorting out the wiring before the sub goes in. I connected the original wires that came with the speakers and fixed them in place with some hot glue. Then I used some more of it to attach the 2 JBL crossovers and proceeded with putting the Pi with the M board, which would be actually easier if I did it before the crossovers went in. The wiring continued as I cut speakers cables to length, stripped the isolation, and connected each to the high frequency output on each crossover. Then I took 2 short wires, threaded them between the Pi and the frame for that neat look, and connected the HiFiBerry amp's left and right channel outputs with the inputs on the corresponding crossovers. I screwed in the subwoofer with 4 long screws. Bridging low frequency outputs the right way requires using some hefty resistors, so I soldered them in and connected the subwoofer to the low frequency outputs on each crossover and moved on to the last thing on the list, the back cover connectors. I again reached for my trusty soldering iron and soldered in the power connector in line with the power switch, and fixed both to the back cover with some hot glue and connected the wires to the amp plus board. I did plan to have the power button up front, but it turned out that there wasn't enough space for a switch capable of handling 18 volts, so hence the regular switch on the back. For the network link, I used a cheap passive network cable extender and the shortest cable I could find. I'll make one myself, but I simply ran out of the RJ45 connectors. With everything in place, I put the back cover on and secured it with 4 screws. My original plan was to use one of the knobs for volume control, but unfortunately I didn't have time to look into it, so for the time being both knobs will be glued to the glass. I'll revisit this project sometime in the future to address this issue. Connected power and LAN cables, flicked the power switch, navigated to volume interface and play some tunes.
When you kick out, it's goodbye. I wanna kick the door because you make me cry, but it ain't gangster. It ain't gangster. Then I gonna hit the road by myself and I wonder if you wanna call me back tonight, but it ain't gangster. It ain't gangster.
So how does it sound? Actually pretty good. The highs and mids are quite precise and there is a surprisingly large amount of bass. The whole project cost me around $150 in parts, but it was well worth it as my Jora can easily take on a 4 times more expensive Bose SoundTouch 30. Thanks everyone for watching and I'll see you in the next one.